Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Ray Pastor, and today I'm going to talk about Amazon's Alexa, the Amazon Echo, and kind of what it does and why it's beneficial and how I see it, that it could be used in the workplace and at schools. So first of all, I just got the Alexa about a month and a half ago. So I've been using it, testing it out, putting it through the ringer, really trying to see what it does, what it's capable of, and seeing if I'm really going to use this thing. First I set it up for entertainment purposes. It's kind of cool. You can ask it basic questions, and it does a basic Google search, and I thought that was kind of neat. And then I realized there were all these cool apps for it and all these different things you could do. And then I started actually using it while I was working, and I thought, wow, this is something that I could see in every office. At some point, is the technology there for everyone? Is everyone going to use it? Maybe not just yet, but I mean, I'm definitely already using it as part of my workday. And I believe that most people can too. I believe it's a cool tool that could probably be used in the classroom to motivate students and give them something fun to do. So what does this do? So how does it even work? So the first thing is, and my device is turned off. I don't have it on right now because it would be annoying as I'm going through this, because every time you say the word Alexa, it, is alerted and is ready to answer something. So I'm not going to do that for this video. But essentially I could say, Alexa, what's the weather today? And it's going to tell me what the weather is. And that's a pretty cool feature. I can ask it, you can ask it basic questions like that. But then I started to think, how would I use this for work? And I realized, my 6-year-old son was up in my office one day and he was asking me something. And I said to him, he was interested, and he's always interested in like huge numbers, like what's 1,000,000 plus 1,000,000 and things like that. And I said, why don't you ask Alexa these questions? And he started asking Alexa these questions, and it was telling him the answers to math problems. He was saying, what's 3 plus 8? And he was trying to trick it. What's 9 plus 17? And he was actually getting responses to math problems. And I thought to myself, wow, how cool is that going to be when I'm sitting there, doing my monthly expenses? Because usually I have my computer up and I have a calculator next to me. And it's kind of a pain to have to keep going back and forth between the two devices. So what I did is when I did my monthly expenses, I was actually able to sit on my computer and type things in. As I had to add, subtract, divide, multiply things together, I just said them to Alexa and she did it for me, and I didn't have to do all the extra work. That's awesome. Just that feature alone was a huge time saver for me, and I thought it was really cool. Okay, so next I'm doing some work. I'm writing a paper, and when I'm writing a paper or writing an email, I have great spell checkers. I have Grammarly installed on my computer, so it tells me when something's spelled incorrectly, but it's always an extra step. And sometimes I'm just writing things out and I need to know how to spell a word, and I can actually say to Alexa, how do I spell? And I say the word and she tells me how to spell it. Awesome. That feature alone, if you don't have like something like Grammarly, which checks like the spelling in your emails, like you have to sit there and look up each word sometimes when you don't know how to spell like a lot of complicated things that you're trying to write. And not only that, she's a thesaurus as well. So when I'm writing research papers, I have that thesaurus up all the time, because I'm always trying to write differently and expand my vocabulary. I'm just not thinking of what I want to say. So I can now say, Alexa, I can ask for alternatives to a certain word. It's a really useful feature. Then in addition to that, there are all these cool apps. So a lot of times when I work, I listen to music. Now I usually listen to music on my computer, but it's kind of a pain because it's coming through my speaker. And I always have to fiddle with the interface, like change songs and stuff like that. With Alexa, it's all set up, and I can use Spotify, Pandora, or Amazon Prime, whatever I'm using for music, and I can say, Alexa, play Pink Floyd. And it'll shuffle my Pink Floyd list and let me listen to music while I'm working all day. And I can just change it. If someone calls me, I don't have to fiddle with the desktop and find the music app and stop it. I know that only takes 1 second, but if someone calls me, I can say, Alexa, stop. Pick up the phone. I don't have to even mess with anything. It's another thing that just doesn't have to be opened up on my computer. So those are the ways I'm using Alexa for work, and I really think that it could be a fun tool in the classroom, given that these things, the Echo Dot's $49. I saw them on sale for $39, maybe even cheaper than that. given the power of it, I definitely don't see why you wouldn't want to have one in your office because it's so inexpensive and it does some really cool things, especially for the person that's like a tech guy or girl. They definitely have to have it given that it's so inexpensive. But it's really cool. So, I'd give it a shot. Now, he does other things for entertainment, obviously. Like, you can connect it to, like, uh, your air condition and things like that and have it, like, actually control different features in your house, like your lights and stuff. But you have to have a correct setup for that. So, obviously, it's not going to work with every system. So, you would need to double check into that kind of stuff. But it does that kind of stuff. Now, keep in mind, this is really the first great generation we've had of these smart kind of devices. So the power's there. So this is the first iteration. Do I think it's worth the $49? Definitely. If it was $200, I would say no way. Don't get it yet. Wait. For $49, definitely worth it, because you know what? If you learn to use it, and I'm using this thing every single day. So it was definitely worth the money. But even if they come out with a new version in a year from now, I'll have no problem spending another $49 for the next iteration of it because it's so inexpensive. And now it's becoming something I'm using every day. I walk into my office and I tell it to put on music for me while I work. I ask it various questions. I have fun with it too. Like I'm a surfer, so I ask it, "Hey Alexa, what's the surf report for today at my beach?" And she'll tell me what the wave height's going to be. Just anything like that, and it's very useful. I mean, I am using it for work. So, all right, that's it. I'll quit my, my praise of this device because there are some downfalls to it as well. We become reliant on something, so I won't praise it too much. But that's my review. Thanks.